Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome to my channel where I share all things about homeschool on here. Today's video, I'm going to dive right into the Song School Spanish Book 1. This is the review that I've been waiting to share with you guys for our mid-year review. We are almost finished with it for quarter 2, so we've had a good 18 weeks using this book. I did do a flip through on this book along with the teacher guide, and I did talk about the CD and the DVD, so if you want all that information, I will link that video down below. I just highlighted our quarter 1, so we did 1 through 11. Quarter 2, we did 12 through 19, but we really have technically one more week of quarter 2, so we have to do chapter 20 review. And then we have 10 additional chapters for quarter 3 and 4, so I don't know if I'm going to continue on with volume 2 or if I'm just going to review with them all the review chapters in this book and go over it again, because I really like to have them have a good foundation and I want them to memorize everything. So I'm not sure yet with how we're going to do that. I thought that this would be a program for a classroom or a co-op setting, and that's why I never purchased this book. But as the co-op did it last year, we did Song School Spanish Latin Book 1. As they did it last year, I saw how simple it was and how open and go it was, and you really don't need to know that much Spanish really at all to teach this. They do all the work for you. It's open and go. So they do give you a suggested schedule, and it does not have to be for a classroom or a co-op. It could be for just an individual homeschool student, or it can be for a family with many kids, and it works out really well. This is definitely for early elementary, but you could use it for older grades. I would definitely recommend it for an older grade student. They could just use the tracing portion where they do copy work, and you can make it a little bit, more challenging for them. They give you a pronunciation guide, the accents, and then I'm going to just share with you guys how we use it and talk about the reasons why I really like it. So this is chapter 1, so this is how we start off our lesson in Spanish. We usually do this in the morning time after some devotions, and then I'll do some poetry, and then I'll go right into our Spanish lesson. So for lesson 1, chapter 1, they did a lot of the CD tracks because they wanted them to understand the basic Spanish stuff, but they don't have 4 tracks in each lesson. So there's usually 1 or 2 songs in each lesson. So that's how we open up our Spanish lesson. And then we do the DVD, we listen to the teacher, and then the little moments section of it. Some lessons are 7 minutes, some are 10 minutes. There is a little section where they have little moments with this daughter. I think it's her daughter, or maybe it's a child. She's 9 or 10 years old, and they talk about the vocabulary words in her house, and she has little stuffed animals, and it's really, really cute. My kids love it. And then typically she would do a little game in it, and she would ask questions, so I would pause it, and I would have the kids answer it, and then we would do the games in the chapter. But not every single chapter has games, but she does have a lot of them, so it's very good to reinforce the words you're learning and bring it to life instead of just memorize the words with flashcards. So this is more than just flashcards, guys. It's more of a detailed program that goes over the pronunciation of everything and how we say things and why we say it that way. And that's why I like it, because the teacher explains things very nice. So this is what they would do. They're only writing hello and teacher in Spanish, and then writing the letters A through I, and then they drew a picture of the teacher, which was me, so they drew a picture of me. My daughter did. We had a game to play, so we did that game after we watched the DVD. And then sometimes my 3rd grader usually fills this all in as she's listening to the DVD. And my son, he's a 1st grader, so he would just trace this, and this is very short. Let me show you another one. So he'll trace, for instance, he'll trace this while we're listening to the DVD, and I sit there at the table with them and listen to it, because then I kind of learn exactly the same thing they learn, and then I have questions for them, and then we play the game. So she finishes the chapter stories or fill in the blanks while she's listening to the DVD. First chapter had a little puppet show, which was cool, so that's why I put all of their cutouts in the back. So they cut out a tortuga and conejo, and we had a little puppet show, which was really cute. and then they filled in the blanks here. So here in chapter 2, they're learning like, what's your name? My name is. They have chapter songs. This is the little paragraph for like the parents to read if you want to, or the older kids can read. And then here they go again with copying and tracing. So this is all tracing. So this is very good for kids that don't know how to write things in Spanish. If your kids are older and they're in 3rd or 4th grade and they want to do the copy work, you can just have an additional notebook and have them copy como te llamos and yo me llamo. They can do that. We typically do it once to twice a week. The first quarter, we were doing it twice a week, where we did one chapter and we reviewed it. And then we're getting to the point where we did one chapter on one day and then another chapter another day in the week. And then we got really ahead of ourselves, as you can tell, because we only have 10 lessons left for like 2 more quarters, which we might have to do more review because we went pretty quickly through it. So it's up to you. You can do 1 chapter a week. If you do 2 chapters a week, you're going to definitely get through it faster. If your kids are older, that might be good for them, because then you can go to Song School Spanish Book 2, because they have Song School Spanish Book 2. So if you want to purchase this book and the Song School Spanish 2 and you have older kids, that is fine as well, because they could probably, absorb and learn all of the vocabulary words that quickly in here. And the worksheets are really great. They have, for instance, like a chapter story, the 3 little pigs, which was great. So they wanted the kids to circle the Spanish words as I read the story. I feel like this is very Charlotte Mason inspired. I know it's classical academic press and it's very traditional the way they're teaching it, but to me, since it is a short lesson and it's very simplified and there's lots of variety in the workbook and how they, teach their lessons, I feel like it's really Charlotte Mason inspired to me. I'm going to share with you guys what I do with my first graders. So since we listen to the CD and we go over the chapter lesson with the DVD, my son just traces it. Then when we're done with the DVD lesson, which is really quick, I will go over this with my son, and I'll either have him circle it if he can read some of the words, or I will circle it. He usually likes to match things up. He can do this on his own, but some things that he doesn't know how to read, I will do for him, and then he'll just answer the questions to me orally. So if your kids are not strong readers yet, like my son, you can definitely do this and, work with them after you do the lesson. And we do lots of games in here, so I really like the fact that they have, fun little games, fun little stories and cutouts and things that they can do that are hands-on. Because my son, he likes to cut things. And then they could always color all of these pictures. Sometimes my daughter colored some pictures. So it's really, really nice. They go over family. They go over classroom subjects or classroom items. They go over masculine and feminine. They also go over classroom commands like sit down, or you all sit down, or repeat, or more than one person repeating, or just talking to only one person. So it's really, really nice. They do all of that in here. They go over colors, they go over numbers, like I said, family members and animals, like things like that. Now, it was really cool. I'll just share with you guys. Usually it's just me and the kids doing it, but one of the days we were doing lessons during my husband's vacation time. Maybe he was off on a Monday for a holiday. So we had a chance to show him like what a typical Spanish lesson looked like, and it was really fun to have him involved with us. So over here we learned about pets. I think he did this one where we learned about animals. So we were doing lions, birds, bears, and elephants. We had a song we went over, and then there was a game that we played. So we kind of did like charades. We had to guess, oh, are you a bear? Are you a bird? And the kids had to act out the animals. So that was fun. They drew pictures of the lions, the bears, and the birds and the elephants. And here are like 2 games, and the word list and the review game. So we did that. So it was so fun to do it with my husband. Usually, typically the husbands are working, so they don't really see a whole lot going on with our school. We talked to him about it, but he never is involved. So it was fun for him to do it. So this is chapter 17. So we went over colors. They didn't have brown, so my daughter made like coffee for cafe. She's so funny. And they colored in these little pictures, which they like doing. So sometimes they color in the pictures, sometimes they don't. This is like a fill in and circle the correct word, draw lines to match, and then circle English, and then those are the review. So they do review on some of the chapters. Chapter 18, this is like in December when we're kind of slowing down and the holidays are coming. We listened to these songs. We learned I have, I don't have, yes, and do you have this one? We'll definitely need to go over again and review. So some chapters like colors and numbers, they already know those things, but the ones that are like phrases to learn, like how are you, I have, what is your name, those are the ones that I want to go over with them probably at the end of the year. And then they really enjoy this activity where they had like these candy jars, so they put a specific amount of candies in there. Then they counted how many birds in the cage. So my son did that. He knew how to do that on his own. And then circle the English words that best match the Spanish words. So chapter 20 is the one that we need to finish for quarter 2, and that is just reviewing all the stuff that we did in chapter 15 through chapter 19. So they just have to fill in the blank. This is something that you can do on an ongoing basis, going through the chapters you've already learned and the vocabulary word, kind of like flashcards. And you can do it at the back. You don't need to make your own flashcards. They kind of have this here for you. So they have an alphabetical glossary. So if I wanted to go over with the kids some of the words for them to, tell me, I have all of this list here. And then in the back they have the appendix of chapter by chapter glossary, each chapter. So I just have to do, the review on chapter 20, going over the body in chapter 21, which is really funny because my kids are like, oh, that's so cool, because we're learning human body for science. So that will be nice. The face and food, more food, and time to eat, weather, seasons all day, and greetings all day long, like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So that is what they will be going over for the rest of the year. So I would highly recommend Song School Spanish. You can go on their website. I'll try to show you their website here. This is the classicalacademicpress.com that you can go to. So if you want to look more into other Spanish or Latin, they have Greek. They have a lot of different languages that they teach. Italian. So I will link my Amazon links where I got my books. If you guys enjoy reviews like these, please give me a thumbs up so I can know that these are videos that you want me to keep on filming. I will be doing a homeschool update pretty soon, maybe a mid-year review, to give you guys like a little look into our day and how things are going. The holidays are starting, so I don't know how soon I'll be getting those out, but I really like to share with you guys on here our journey and what's been working. So thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. If you're not subscribed, I would love to have you guys join Mama Shmoo's Homeschool Reviews and click on that subscribe button. I will see you in my next video. Have a great day.